Alright, hello everyone, how are you all doing today? I myself am doing very well. In fact, I felt like just doing a brief talk on one of my favorite series, and this article right in front of us is a vehicle for that. Persona. So I've been a fan of the Persona series since around the time Golden came out, Persona 4 Golden came out. Although I've never played the Golden version of Persona. I was in a GameStop one day, saw this yellow case for Persona 4, picked it up, and fell in love with the game. So I'm glad that for a time GameStop was carrying PS2 games. Otherwise, I would not have found it myself. And I've been hooked on the series ever since. Now, one big thing I do have to recommend if you're gonna decide to get into the Persona series, wait for the second release because they've done it 3 times in a row now. There's no reason why you should pick up Persona 6 right away if there's going to be a Persona 6 special edition, deluxe, royal, golden, what have you. They did with Persona 3 with Persona 3 Portable, which added an alternate timeline, kind of, where you are a female protagonist, and that was fun to play with. And then, of course, with Persona 4, which was for the Vita, and it was just an expanded version of Persona. Now, my biggest the biggest thing that really made Persona 5 Royal worth the wait was that it was developed as more of a PlayStation 4 game rather than when the original was being released, and that was coming out as a PlayStation 3 game. Even though it was late PlayStation 3, it wasn't really made with the PlayStation 4 architect in mind, and I do think that PlayStation Persona 5 Royal takes advantage of the new hardware to become a truly next gen game. So that is my experience with the series, and so this article, Persona 6 on PS5, could address this one major criticism. So what he is generally talking about throughout this article is that there is little reason to really explore the city because there aren't any hidden secrets behind different walls or something. So there's no like rewards for going into the corner of an alleyway or things of that nature, which is understandable from an engine perspective. The game is already handling the battle system, the confidant system, and so on. So it would be hard to implement more things like adding exploration items and stuff like that. Now, he isn't advocating for it to be open world, just that there simply be more rewards for exploring the ins and outs of the game. So, the author of the article is Rob Dolan, and among all of the praise that Persona 5 has received, there is one lackluster aspect of the game that could be solved in the next Persona game. Persona 5 as a whole was special for a lot of reasons when the game came out in 2017. Upon reaching the 20-year anniversary, the fifth numbered entry in the JRPG franchise served to modernize and expand Persona for the latest generation. Despite a few delays, Persona 5 came out to both PS3 and PS4 to universal praise. Everything from its RPG mechanics, social links, and confidants, turn-based combat, and overall aesthetic were praised. That as refined as Persona 5 truly is, there's one major aspect where the game was lacking. Even though the aesthetic and visual design of environments was impressive and unique, actually exploring many of the environments often times felt wasteful and unimportant. Whether it's palaces, mementos, or real-life Tokyo, finding interesting secrets around the corners and rewards for exploration were few and far between. Some of these issues were improved with Persona 5 Royal, that being they added verticality and things of that nature with the grappling hook, which he goes into more detail down here. This paragraph here basically goes over just some stuff to kind of pad out the article. Considering the core experience of Persona 5 was originally developed for the PS3 architecture, there are some drawbacks associated with that. Along those lines, despite all of the great aspects of Persona 5, exploring some of the dungeons often yields middling results. Many rooms in palaces and the main dungeons of the game have several entire rooms just dedicated to random loot items or treasure chests. Obviously, exploring the palaces outside of the main quest was never really the main focus of the game. It still doesn't justify the size of the dungeons with the amount of gameplay content within. Almost there with Royal. In Persona 5 specifically, the game did manage to curb some of the issues by implementing the grappling hook and the will seeds in each palace. Joker's grappling hook added a new sense of verticality to level design, and the will seeds did generally encourage minimal exploration of levels. The grappling hook surprisingly becomes a core traversal. Sorry about the barking, my dog went a little crazy, someone just came through a door. Where was I? The grappling hook surprisingly becomes a core traversal mechanic that encourages more exploration, even if not all the world justifies its inclusion. Not to mention there are some genuinely interesting maze segments, like in the 6th palace, where there's a dark corridor that players have to navigate through to find the right exit. Oh, what's going on? So, yeah, I can agree with everything said so far. It's not something that I really thought of in the early parts of the game, and really not even afterwards. It just ended up him pointing it out and me like, yeah, that's true. It can be expanded upon. Why not? It's just a nice thing to have, really. With the release of Persona 6, they do have to add something to really evolve, and giving some more exploration type of events or stuff like that would definitely help. So let's finish this up right here. Despite the myriad of developments, issues, despite the myriad of development issues for Persona 5, the Persona franchise is in a much more stable and comfortable position. Thanks to the success of Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal all over the world, it's almost certain that the next Persona game is already in development. What's more, it'll be in development for next generation hardware and be able to take advantage of so much more resources and power compared to Persona 5. Persona 6 could absolutely remedy the empty hallways issues that tend to come up a lot with JRPGs from time to time. And then this last paragraph here also goes over how it doesn't need to be open world, just give us some more reason to explore the empty rooms. And Persona 6 will have the time and resources to play with, how the series can improve and emphasize more exploration elements in dungeons, rather than some extra rooms with treasure. Make it worthwhile for players to run around and see every nook and cranny of the dungeon and be rewarded for it. And yeah, so that about does it for this article. I hope you've all enjoyed this. I once again, it was just really to give myself a chance to talk about one of my favorite series, and what I hope to see in the next installment is pretty much related in this article right here. And what would you guys like to see in the next Persona game? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and even subscribe if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.